Alright, so let's begin, guys. Today we're going to create this nice 3D motion graphics scene, and this is actually a very simple set. It's just a few layers, few shape layers that with the help of Cinema 4D renderer we can create and add a real 3D volume to the shape, and then I just rotate them and created a isometric camera using a null. Yeah, because if I turn this off, this will look like this. But I think about something interesting to teach you, so we will create the isometric camera as well. Yeah, and this is a little bit of light layers and a pre-comp for the object. I put it in the pre-comp because maybe in your project you can enter this and then you can replace this sphere to something else, maybe a text or a logo for a client or something like this. Yeah, and these are the shape layers and the background solid layer with the gradient effect. Alright? Okay, but before we're going to start animating this scene, I wanted to talk about an important topic that I got asked a lot on Instagram. This how I came up with such an ideas, or I don't know, inspiration, stuff like this. So first thing, the simple way to explain it is you all know this this quote that inspiration is everywhere, and it may be easy to say than to actually do it. So in my case, I saw this cool structure outside, and I think about how cool it can be to create an animation of this thing, because it's already have some rotation, like some kind of rotation motion to it. But you maybe can ask, but how you saw it? When you saw it, you know that it can be an animation. And yeah, I actually prepared a text so I can read it, so it can help me explain my plan to you. All right, so I will start to read it, and you try to listen and understand me, and then I will ask if you have questions. All right, so inspiration can be found everywhere, but to see and pay attention to it, you must fill your mind with relevant thoughts. Alright, you must to think like an animator. To shift your mind to the right place, you must watch a lot of high quality animated videos. The goal is to train your mind and imagination to see every object in life as a great reference and inspiration for creating something awesome. Alright, so basically, to set your mind to the right place, to the creative place, you need to watch a lot of videos and references. Most of them should be high quality videos from I don't know, from the best studios out there. And by watching a lot of animation videos, you can train your mind to be useful when you come across a daily things. Alright, this is what happened to me. And as I mentioned in the previous live stream, inspiration can come from your personal mood. Alright, and now you can see that it can also come from interesting objects around you. So the past live stream, I said that I created the animation of the opening phase, and it was based on my mood. So sometimes when I don't have an idea, sometimes I can get sad or angry and stuff like this, and this drive me to create this animation. But now I want to tell you that even from objects, regular objects, you can be inspired. So in my case, since I watched good animated videos every day, my mind automatically searches for interesting things around me without even noticing, alright? And for example, I wouldn't thought of a structure, of the structure when I saw it, this one, alright? As I won't see it as a good reference for animation if I hadn't seen an animation like that in the past, alright? So maybe in the back of my mind I remember some kind of animation that I saw in one of the explainer videos out there. And since I have seen a lot of animated scenes in my career, I look at things differently. Therefore, it is essential to watch high quality videos to set your creative thinking on the right path. That's why I have a surprise for you guys. And now, as I told you, I have some practical things that you can, learn from it and get inspired. So this is my secret list of the best motion studios and animation studios in the world, alright? And I want to give it to you guys. I will send it here in the chat as a Dropbox link so you can download it. So basically what you want to do, instead of if you have a free time, instead of scrolling on social media, open this list. Even if you don't have a client or a project to work on, the goal is to fill your mind with the right visuals, right? Your mind needs to be filled with the right thing. So when you got this list, just enter any of these websites and just see and scroll, watch and check the projects that those videos make. All right, so this is a lot of cool stuff to see, and by doing so you will fill your mind with a lot of inspiration, even without noticing. You will see things differently. You can see maybe I don't know, some statue at the street, and you can imagine that you create from this something, and it can help you when you work on when you have a creative block. All right, and now I want to, before I forgot, I share it with you guys. Wait a second. Copy link, copy Dropbox link, and that it is. Oh, I can paste it here. Yeah, I can. Alright, so download it and save it in your even WhatsApp or phone, on Telegram, so you can reach it very quick. And when you have a free time, just enter one of the studios, Gokul Ajay, ask if I can give a transition tips. Today we don't talk about transition, Gokul, so next time I think I will make a live stream about this topic. It's a very good idea, so thank you for the idea. But today we don't going to talk about this. But if you see the animations that I just show you in the link, just by looking of a lot of videos, you will learn by yourself, and you'll get a lot of ideas to cool transitions. All right, so this list can help you in a lot of ways. So think of it as something serious, and don't just listen to me and then don't do it with this nothing. Watched a bunch of videos from this list. It's going to help you guys, because it's helped me a lot dealing with my project with clients and come up with cool ideas for my Instagram account, and reach a lot of followers and stuff like this. Alright, and now after we have seen a lot of inspiration sources and our mind and imagination are ready to create, so now we need to learn the technical stuff and able to know what is possible and what's not. All right, so you have a lot of inspiration, but now another thing that can help you come up with the ideas is to know what's possible in the software. All right, so you need to know what is possible in After Effects. You need to basically you need to enhance your skill set. All right, because you will have a confidence to think of something, and then you know, oh yeah, I can create it with a turbulence displace effect. Oh yeah, I can create it with, if I combine a gradient and some I don't know, in our case it's you know, I wanted to create an isometric camera, and because technically I know how to make it, it was really easy for me to come up with this animation. So in my mind I thought, oh yeah, I can create a isometric camera using a null object, so yeah, I can do it. No, so technical stuff can very help you with come up with inspiration and solve problems. But sometimes as a beginners we don't know what we should create and practice. And now I want to do a little marketing for myself and help you out with this. And therefore in my courses I always create lessons when you can get the most of After Effects and also apply the animation you learn in real world projects. And I don't know if you know guys, but I have an online school called Design in Motion School. All right, and a lot of people ask me why my lessons, why my courses are so long. They're very long because I love to teach a lot of things. Like in one course you will get to know to create like 4 different, in this course micro animation, 4 different types of shape layer animations. All right, and this is, you can practice because you don't know how to practice and what to practice, and I give you the opportunity and the ideas to practice on. The same goes for text in motion. Here I got 9 lessons to create 9 different super cool kinetic typographic scenes. Even I teach you how to create a paragraph, how to animate with paragraph and create a transition with it. And here as well as a metro camera and a lot of stuff. And my latest course for logo animation, I don't teach how to create one style of logo animation. I teach how to create 5 different styles of logo animation, so you can practice from, you know, different areas After Effects, but because there is a lot to cover in this software. And you know, so for you it will be fun to practice. I create some animation that you can actually create something for your clients, you know, bottom line at the end. Yeah, so with this I think we're done with the talking. Let's see. Yeah, all right, and now we can start with the live stream and do some cool stuff inside After Effects. But before I start, do you have some question, guys? Let me read some of the comments if I missed something important or not. All right. Thank you very much. I highly appreciate the resources. Yeah, Ribbon, welcome. You're welcome. Jean Drago, welcome to the live stream. Jean Drago asked me if he wants to learn 3D, should he learn After Effects too? If you know for sure, for 100% that you're going to do only 3D motion graphics, all right, projects, so no, I think you can start with Blender or with Cinema 4D. I don't know, but to animate, to understand animation, it can be very good for you to start with After Effects, because with After Effects it's very easy to understand the timeline. All right, understand timeline and enhance your animation skills. It's much easier to do here, all right, and not in Blender or Cinema 4D, simply because the UI of the panels, all right, UI of the software, it's not friendly, user friendly, all right, like here in After Effects. So you can practice After Effects only to understand animation, all right, and the timeline, and then go and learn 3D. Milton, welcome to the live stream. Lojesh, I think I remember you for the last live stream. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for the tutorials. All right, bubble gum. Yeah, it's my pleasure. I'm glad you enjoyed my tutorials, and now you will hear my voice as well along the tutorials. Okay, guys. So I will create a new project. Okay, and let's start to do it together. But let me turn on the mouse click and this thing, the keys, so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, so first let's create a new composition. Okay, and we'll work on the composition for a social media portrait, but not full portrait. It's like a 30 by 50 like this. Okay, 1080 in width and 3050 in height. Then let's name this master comp, and go to 3D renderer and make sure we're selecting Cinema 4D. All right. Actually, when you use Cinema 4D renderer, you can't do some other things, and it will disable some functions. And here you can see what are the functions. All right. Now let's make it 30 frames per second. Let's set the resolution of the preview to full, and the duration, let's make it to 20 seconds for now, and the color of the background preview set to black, and hit OK. Hey Vein Motion, good afternoon to you too, man. I'm happy that you made to my live stream. Yeah, and make some notes if you have something to say, because you are good in motion graphics. I know you from Instagram. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is we need to first save the project before animating, so we can activate the autosave function. Alright, because when we work with Cinema 4D renderer, After Effects can crash, and then it not save the work we did, and then we need to make it twice. So let's save the project. I will call it 3D spinning rectangles, and I will just call it Livestream, so I know. And a quick tip, as I always say, you need to work in very organized way. So open a new folder right now on your computer and create 3 folders. One AE, called AE, which here we will save all the After Effects file. Then create another one for assets. Maybe you want to bring then later on some music before you're animating, before you're posting it on social media. So create assets folder, and finals. Here we will render the final animations. So I'm going into AE folder and I'm saving this project. And now our autosave function activated. And if you don't know what is autosave function, go to preferences and go to autosave here, and check for your preference in this one, in this section, and make sure it's set to 5 minutes. So basically it says that every 5 minutes After Effects will save the project automatically. Alright, and this is very good. This is look like this. It's look like this. There it is. Automatically After Effects will create a new folder. Alright, in here you will see all your After Effects file that saved automatically. Great. And now first thing we need to do is we need to create the shape, the first shape. And to create the shape, we just need to select the rectangle tool. Let's make it some gray color. Later we will change it, lighter gray color. And let's disable the stroke. All right, I will set the previous screen to fit. And now let's create the rectangle while holding the shift key, so it to create it the proportional. And so we all be at the same path. Let's open the rectangle path and all together set the size of this rectangle to let's say 1000. Yeah, let's set it to 1000. And we can leave this you know, the name of the layer like this. Usually I'm changing the name, but for now I don't need to change it. We don't need. And let's set let's center this shape using align tool in the center of the composition. Great. And now we need to convert this layer into real 3D object. And for this, first we need to activate the 3D icon right here. All right, if you don't see it, click on the toggle switch to see the different modes and click here. Great. Now again, make sure you're at the Cinema 4D using the Cinema 4D renderer. And now just open the layer. We can close the contents and open geometry options. And here we can add the extrusion depth, which will add the the volume, 3D volume. And to see what we are doing, we can set the preview to custom view 1, so we can see this from this kind of a side angle. And now we can set, if you increase it, you will see that you get some nice 3D volume. So let's set it all to 100. That's enough. And now we want to color the sides of it. To do it, we need to select contents, go to add, and go to side and choose color. All right. And right now it's not going to give us to color it, and I do it not by mistake. I just want you to show that. So to color the side of it, you must to open the contents, and you must to select the rectangle. All right. This how After Effects will understand what object I want to color, and right now it will give me this one. So let's set this color. I want to be, I love blue, the blue color. So I set it to some nice blue color like this. And now to change the actual color of this rectangle, we can go to fill and color it in like this very, very light blue color. All right, so go to blue and set this this color here. Okay, and with this we finish to prepare the first shape. Now we can set the preview to actually to front. All right, and now we will see our scene from the front side. So now we can we select this layer and press R to rotate it, and now we need to rotate it exactly by minus 90 degrees in the X rotation property. Great. And now I will select the selection tool, so I can move this this layer down. All right, and actually we can activate the title action save grid to see where to put it. So I can put it here. All right, later we will change the position using the camera, but for now, to work in organized manner, we can use this grid. Alright, and now what we need to do is duplicate this layer using Control D or Command D on the MacBook. And now we need to bring this layer up, so let's press P to bring up the position property and use the I think it's a x-axis to bring this layer up, and we should bring it very close to this to the first one, so we can do it like this. All right, I think, yeah, oh, a little more, yeah, that's great. So I think it's in my case it's 1085 in this value. And now we need to scale this layer down, but you probably think that we can open up the scale property using the S key and then scale it down by 90. But if we do that, this layer will scale down according to the anchor point. All right, and in general, when using shape layers, you should scale the layers through the path of this shape layer. So if I reopen this layer, right, I don't want to scale it from the scale, all right, from the scale property of the transform. I actually want to go to the rectangle and rectangle path, and here I will change the size of it. So let's set it to, let's say, 800. All right, and it's going to look like this. And let's see how it will look by 9. Yeah, let's set it to 900. All right, and now before continuing to the next one, I want to tell you a little trick about coloring. So listen closely. Right now we know that we will have later a lot of layers like this, a lot of duplicates, all right? And then if we want to change the color, we don't want to enter each of one of them and then try to find the fill color and the rectangle, the material color like we set to the sides for each layer. We want to work smarter, and for this I highly recommend you in these cases to parent the color properties. And what I mean by that is this. So what we will do right now, we will select those two layers, go to the search bar and just write color. Right? Just let's write color. Now you see After Effects bring all the colors of all these layers. So we don't have the stroke, so we won't use it, all right? But we want to use these two colors for the fill and for the material option, which is the side color. So what I want to do is I want to take the parent icon and parent it to the first layer, like this. And now I want to take this one and parent it to this one, to the fill color of the first layer, like this. And let's see, if I change the first color, you see, I'm only changing the color of the first one. The second one will change accordingly. And now the great thing in this technique is that when we duplicate this layer, the second layer, with the with the parented properties, let's duplicate it. It will also, save the same information. So let's now scale it down, but not to the scale property. We will scale it down the path itself. So let's scale it to 800. All right. And now let's bring up the position, and we can up, place this layer up, a little bit up, using the arrow keys and while holding the shift key, alright, to change the value of the x-axis. And now if I go to the color of this layer, of the first layer, let's say I want to change it, yeah, the side color. So let's see if it's going to work. Yeah, you see it's also changing in the new one as well. So a nice trick for you when you're working with a lot of layers, a lot of duplicates. Alright, so let's continue duplicating this layer a bunch of times. I don't know how much. Actually, let's bring up the size property of this too, because I don't want to when we work with the Cinema 4D render, it can be very hard on the computer to preview the screen, and I don't want to create a lot of duplicates, alright? This is not the goal. The goal is for you to understand the workflow. So let's select these layers and search for the size, and let's set the second one to 800 and the new one to 600, alright? Like we're going down by 200. Aruna make a note so she can't. Aruna, I will show it once again for you how to do it. So pay attention. So for you to see the color, the side color, you need to open the contents of your layer, and you must select the rectangle. Alright, you must select here the rectangle. You can select this one or this one or this one. You must to select the rectangle, and now you must to go to add, then you need to go to side and then color. Then you will see this material option. Alright, moving on. Let's duplicate the new one, Control D, and set the size. Find the size here and set it to 400. And bring this up like so, and let's do it 2 more times. Oops. You see, guys, how I use the search bar to find a specific property, so you should start to doing it also. Okay. Alright, so we have 5 duplicates. I think it's enough. In my case, in my animation, I created 7 duplicates, but it's not really important. Okay. And now we can actually create the isometric camera. Alright, and it's a bit tricky sometimes, but let's see how we do it. First, let's go back to the active camera for the default preview of the scene here. And now let's right click here, go to new, and create a new camera. And for the camera, you must to select the 2-node camera for the type of the camera, and for the lens you must to select 50 millimeters. Alright, and then hit OK. Now we have a camera. Now let's create a new null object and turn it to a 3D layer. Alright, now let's parent this camera, alright, using the parent and link function to the null. But for now, leave it as it is. We don't use the null. Let's adjust some properties in the camera. So first, let's open this camera and find a zoom property, which we can find here in the camera options. And let's set the zoom to minus 10,000. So 10 and 3 zeros. And then in the position, let's set it to 10,000, not minus 10,000. All right, maybe it's the opposite. Wait a minute. Yeah, excuse me, guy. Okay, so actually it's 10,000 in the zoom. So it's 10,000 in the zoom and minus 10,000 in the position. Select the... Oh, I don't think that you can see me. Let's see. Alright guys, I hope you see the live stream still in a good quality, because I have some error notifications from YouTube. Anyway, I will continue. In the worst case scenario, you will see it, you know, after I share it on my channel. Alright, so right now what we need to do is oh great, Gokul, thank you to say it. And now what we need to do is we need to select the null and press R to open the rotation properties. And now we will use the orientation properties. We need to set this one to 45, this one to 35, and this one to 30. All right, and now maybe you can see it upside down like me. It's okay. Just add a minus in the first one. Great. And this is how we created an isometric camera. Yeah, and now we can actually use this null object to, I don't know, to set a much interesting preview, a much interesting angle for the camera. So we can bring up the position property, or we can go to here and set the view to 2 views, and you know, you can select this preview. All right, you must to select this preview and then set it to see this preview from the top angle, and here you can move your camera as well. But I think I will use the values. All right, so I'll go back to one view, and yeah, let's set it to some nice angle. So because of the isometric camera angle, we can't move the camera in the z-axis like in the regular camera. We kind of need to move it, you know, backwards and to the right, backwards and to the right, backwards and to the right. All right, so to make it quickly, let's set the preview quality to quarter. All right, because we don't have to see it in the full quality. And when you move the values, you can hold down the shift key. This is how your value is going to move in the bigger increments. So I will, you know, adjust the z-axis, and now I will adjust the y-axis like this. Yeah, and this is a little bit tricky with the isometric camera. I know it can be very annoying, but you see, just use these 3 values while holding the shift key to set the camera to the right angle. All right, like this. I will do it one more time. So I move it in the z-axis, like far from the eye, and then I bring it to the center using the x-axis, and then I bring it down using the y-axis. All right, something like this. Yeah, that's enough. And now we can start to animate this animation, but before that, let's save the project. All right, even if we have the autosave function. Anyway, let's press Ctrl S to save the project and move on to the animation. If you want, you can adjust a little bit more the position so it be perfectly in the center. And of course, if you want to create some more interesting camera angle like I created in my animation, we can bring up the rotation properties, and then we can, oops, wait a second. Oh no, we can use the rotation properties of the camera, I think. No, let me remember how I did it. Oh yeah, I used the position properties of the camera as well, but let's not do it right now because it's okay as it is. Yeah, let's leave it as it is. So now we have an isometric camera angle and we're ready to animate this shape layer. So we can select them all. Make sure you're at the beginning of the timeline. We can zoom in a little bit. Make sure at the beginning of the timeline and open up the rotation properties using the arrow key. Yeah, that's actually a nice idea, Gokul. And but I think you don't have to pre-compose. You don't have to pre-compose them. You just can, you know, because it's going to. All right. So Gokul asks if you can pre-compose the shapes layers and add a null to rotate the camera. All right. But it will not affect the scene very well because we have this here is the camera here. What we can do, we can just parent all these layers to the first one. All right, and now you can actually rotate the first layer. All right, like this, you see, like this, and yeah, you can control of this layer from here. It's a much more simple way to get what you want, if I understand you correctly. So yeah, I can leave it like I will not leave it as a parented layers. All right, because I want to create a rotation animation for them. So I will select them. So Gokul, and I want to answer you one more time. But when you parent these layers to the first one, and then let's say you adjusted your position of this rectangle of this shape. All right, let's say you want it like this, as I did it in my animation. Yeah, I did something like this. 100, and here I set it to, let's do it, and this is one I set to 10. all right, so minus 100 on the x-axis and minus s10 in the y-axis. And when we finish this to adjust it, we want to unplug this thing. All right, unparent this thing, because we now want to animate these layers separately, and this is what I want you to make sure. So after you adjusted the angle of this shape according to the camera, just go and unparent these layers, and that's it. Very easy. Yeah, and let's animate them. Let's hit the R key. And I think we need to animate them not in the y-axis, we need to animate them in the z-axis. So let's at the beginning of the timeline, let's create a keyframe, first keyframe for the z-axis for all the layers. And now let's make sure not select any layer and press U once and then once again to to see only the keyframes. And now let's go to second number 2 and make a full rotation for all of them. So this is the left one. So here we decided the rotation, the amount of the rotation, and in this side we decided for the degrees. All right, so we need one full rotation. If we want to do it in the degrees thing, in the degrees value, so we're going to rotate it by 360, of course, a full rotation. You see, when I go 360, I got one rotation. So this is the same. Yeah, and now let's see how it looks. Now let's ease this keyframes using the F9 key. For Mac users, you must hold Fn, the Fn key, and then press the F9 key. Or you just can right click on one of the layers, on one of the keyframes, and create make it easy. All right. Yeah. And now let's create a little offset between them, between all the layers. So if you want this layer to start rotating first, so we won't touch it. We only touch the rest one. So let's drag it one frame further. Next, let's drag this one frame further, and this one as well, and this one as well. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, it looks okay. If you want to create a bit more crispy animation, you can select the layers, go to the graph editor, and right click here to make sure you're on the speed graph. Then you can select these layers, these keyframes, and drag them, drag the handle here, which will create a faster animation at the beginning. You see, at the frame 50 or 40, we got a very fast speed, and then this is represent the speed of the movement. All right, and then the speed decreases. Yeah, let's see how it looks. Yeah, it looks actually better than my animation that I created for Instagram. Great. And now, when we finished with the general, animation, we can add some details. Details like this object that I added to make the bouncy ball. So let's create it. First, let's press Ctrl or Command N to create a new composition. Let's call this comp object. All right. Object. Let's make it 500 by 500 pixels. The rest we will leave the same. Oh, just in this pre-comp, change the renderer to classic 3D, because we don't need it to be in 4D. Alright, so now we jumped to the new composition, and for the sake of this example, let's use the ellipse tool and create a shape. And the ellipse, through the ellipse path, let's set the size to 400, so we can be on the same path altogether. And now let's align it to the center like this, and I will change the color to white. Alright, now we go back to our main scene, master comp, and bring this object here above all these layers. Alright, And now we need to make this layer, convert this layer to 3D layer, but because we have a camera in this scene, all right, because we have a camera, we see this strange angle for this object. So let's select the selection tool just for no reason, because I don't want to be and now let's press R, and all we need to do is we need just to adjust the orientation of this layer to 45, yeah, 45, like this here, and a little bit, yeah, let's see if we, yeah, this is, yeah, 45, and actually we need to adjust this layer a little more here. I think here we need to set it to 35 and here to 30, maybe, no, right, you see it has a kind of angle toward us. This is what I want to correct, and I can do it using a preview screen. So let's set the preview to left, and now let's try front. All right, this isometric camera doing a lot of not good stuff. Oh no, I see, actually it's okay. My bad, guys. It's okay. It's just maybe I'm a little bit tired and I see it in the weird way. Anyway, let's just set the orientation here for 45, yeah, and close the layer. And now we can scale this down. So let's press S to scale it. I don't know. Let's set it to 30 or 35. Yeah, 35. It's okay. And now using the position, okay, I press the P key. Using the position, we can, using the X-axis, we can animate this layer. But if I bring this down, we can see that this layer actually not in the very center. So we can use the other values of the position to bring this to the center. All right. Yeah, something like this. This is the values. All right, when you play around with it, you will understand the isometric angles a bit better, right? Sometimes I don't remember how much I need to, to move in the z-axis or in the y-axis. I just play around with these values. Yeah, and let's set the first position here, somewhere around here, so it be a bit above this the first rectangle. And now create the animation for this one. Yeah, so actually we create the first keyframe here, and then we go to the second number 2. No, not to the second number 2, to the point in time when the animation is over. Entire animation is over. So we can unselect any layer or all the layers and press U, and once again to see where the animation ends. Yeah, so the animation ends actually here. So we can create another keyframe at this point in time for the object. Yeah, and now yeah, this is how we need to do it. And then let's say go to second number 1 and bring this layer up. All right, so we're kind of creating the jump animation, so it will look like this. It's going up and then it's going down, something like this. Actually, I want to try to place this keyframe at second number 2. I want to see if it's going to ruin my loop later. Just want to experiment with this. All right, so, and to create the actually the feeling of a jump the ball, you know, jumping animation, we need to adjust these keyframes. So first thing, we can convert these keyframes to easy ease. All right, and now we want this to hover over the air a bit for a longer time, and we want the, you know, when it falls down, so it will fall very quickly. And because we will have a looped animation, we want the ball jump up also very quickly. And for this, we need to bring this handle here, actually, until we see the influence almost at 0%. And the same goes for here. And now for this keyframe, we can bring the handle here and this one here. And if you will see only let's isolate only this layer and shorten the work area up until this point in time. So let's press N just to see the animation, right? Let's check how it looks. You see, hovering and then boom, like it's dropping very fast. All right, so this is the animation we want to create. Yeah, let's go back to the timeline. I will zoom out and bring the workflow area as it was. Yeah, and now we actually need to create a loop for this animation. Okay, before we are doing adding lightings and stuff like this, don't add the final touches and layers like backgrounds or light layers before you finishing the entire animation, because it's going to slow down the process. All right, so let's create the loop, a loop from this animation. Let's press U to see where the animation ends. So the animation ends here. Yeah, and now let's crop this workflow area up until this point, also using the N key. We can do it. And now let's right click on it and choose trim comp to work area. Great. And now we have this animation. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, so you see the ball is like standing at the bottom for a second, and this is because I moved this the last keyframe here. We need to move the last keyframe to the end of this scene. All right, I just wanted to see how it will affect the scene. So right now it's actually going to work. You see? Yeah. So our scene, the master comp, is ready, and now let's create a comp for the renderer. All right. Let's hit Control N and call this comp for render. And let's set it to be the size of this comp. So 30 by 550, 20 seconds is okay. And in this comp, we actually don't need to use a 3D renderer as well. All right. And now we can bring the master comp here. Yeah, and we got this, our animation right here. And there is a lot of ways to create a loop animation from this scene, from this pre-comp, since it's starting and ending the same. We can use expression, and I don't want to overload on your minds at this point. So all right, the simple way is just duplicate and set it and put it here, yeah, and place the second one here and continue doing so. And this is what we are going to do, but I want to show you the you know, the expression way. What we need to do is we need to set our time indicator at the last point, at the end of this pre-comp here, and then we need to right click on this pre-comp, go to time and enable time remapping. Alright, so now we actually created keyframes for the duration of this pre-comp. And what's happening in the duration of this pre-comp is that the final frame and the first frame, which is represented by those keyframes right now, are the same, which means we can create we can use a loop out expression for this. But as you can see, when I place here the time indicator, I see the black screen. So the loop work properly, we must you know, go one frame backward and create here a keyframe with this timing, with this value, which is the time of this pre-comp, which is the duration of this pre-comp. So we can create it and we can delete this one. All right, we don't need it. Yeah, and now all we have to do is to create an expression for this pre-comp and to create an for this property. So hold down the Alt key and click on the stopwatch, and now we don't need to write nothing. We just go to property and select the ready ones, ready expression, loop out a cycle. Yeah, and now we can actually drag this layer up until the end of the infinity, and now it's all what's happened between those two keyframes, which are which is this entire animation. All right, which is this animation, it's going to loop out. All right, you see? Yeah, so it's instead of duplicating this pre-comp, but in our case we could actually duplicate this because we don't need this to last very long. So anyway, and now let's just find a good point in time when the ball hits his first position, which is in 10 seconds and 80 frames and 20 frames, and press N to shorten the work area. Yeah, and this is the animation. Actually, I hit Ctrl Z because, you know, whatever, it can play endlessly. And now when we finish with this, we can actually create some final touches. Okay, and let's click here and press U to close all the layers and create lights for this scene. Right click and go to light, and let's create a light, some white light or blue light. We can let's start with the white light and then see what we can do with it. Yeah, let's create it. A spotlight, type of the light is a spot. Leave all the preferences as I did. Yeah, and now we can go here and place it here, right here. And for us to see the entire scene and not use only this light, we need to create an ambient light. An ambient light is an overall light for the scene. Okay. You can double click on it and set the intensity maybe to less than 100%. I don't know, just know that this one exists. So I love to set the ambient light for 90. And now, as you can see, because we have this light right here, we got some nice shadings on this in this area, right? Without this light, it's kind of look the same. You see, you can see the difference between the angles. And with this light, I see you know, a lighter color, blue color, and here I see a darker blue color, which is awesome. Yeah, and you can add another lights, but note that if I duplicate it, note that every light that you create is going to slow down your computer. All right, so I think let's stay with one light. It's totally fine. It looks awesome. And now you can create the background here, or you can create the background actually in this pre-comp, which is the pre-comp that we will render. I prefer to create this here. So right click and create a new solid. Call this BG and make it the comp size with the black color, because it doesn't matter. We will add a gradient ramp effect on it. Yeah, like this. And now choose some nice color that you want. Once again, I love a blue color, so I set it to blue. And when you're creating gradients, to get a better gradient, don't leave this handle here. Down it a little bit, you know, bring it down, and this one bring it up like this, and set the ramp scatter to 100 to 50. All right, it's going to smooth a little bit the gradient. Yeah, now let's place the gradient down here, and now we can create an adjustment layer let's call it color correction. Correction, and add some coloring effects on it to improve the look. So the first one we can add is a noise. All right, noise effect, to make it a little bit not so sharp. Let's set the noise to 10, or no, to 5. Yeah, it looks more beautiful like this. Then let's add another effect, which is hue and saturation, and maybe let's make it look even more with saturated colors. I think we can set it to 50. Yeah, 50 looks nice. All right, and now we can use a curves effect, all levels is the same, and adjust a little bit make this thing look a bit crispier by dragging the RGB line here and this one here, maybe even more. Yeah, something like this. No, it's too much. You don't have to do it. It's just a quick tip before rendering, you know. All the time, not all the time I do it, but sometimes, you know, without the final touches, this looks, you see, now when I turn this off, it looks, it's very simple. And when I turn this on, it looks, you know, professional, a little bit more professional. So you can leave it as it is. Yeah, and now what I did is also I added a glow effect on the object. So let's do it right now. But because we are using the Cinema 4D renderer, we need to make some ridiculous numbers here. Let's set it to 300. I think it's okay. Yeah, 300, it's okay. Oh, I forgot to do one thing in the animation. You see, to create in my animation, this shape, you know, goes down when the ball hits. So let's create this. It's very easy. All we have to do is we need to make a very similar animation movement in the like the ball. What I mean by that is, like, let's select this layer, press P, and now at this point in time let's bring this layer down a little bit. All right, a little down, right here, and create a keyframe. Now let's go back, let's go to the end of the animation and set the same value here. But in the first second, when the ball, up, let's bring this layer to his regular position, which was I don't know, somewhere around 70, 100, 98. And now we need to create a similar motion for this keyframe. So let's select those keyframes, press F9, go to the graph editor, and as we did with the last, with the ball, let's make an extreme animation at the beginning, like this, and I set it here, and at the end. All right, and then it's going to work together with the ball, and it's going to look like the ball pressing on it. Let it render for a while, for a few seconds. I'll bring this down a little bit. Yeah, let's see it. Oh, okay, so I see that the ball actually starting to go down early here. And then I don't want it, so let's see what we can do. We can let's try to copy this keyframe with the value when the ball is in the upper area, and let's copy this keyframe, Control C, and paste it here, one frame before this one. All right, and let's see how it will look. We're trying to create an illusion, yeah, yeah, awesome. And now the ball, you see, we kind of have a push animation, created a push animation for this one, and with this we have finished the animation, and we can render it for social media. But before rendering, change the bit colors of your project by pressing here to 60 bits per channel. It gives more colors, and when you render it, I'll press Ctrl M to render it. Select here the 50 Mbps. If you don't see it, just click on this line, select the H264. The same goes for media encoder, yeah, it's not really matter. And now when you press here for the format options, when you press here, you go to here, you set it to 50. Oi. Then press OK, and it's going to bring you the best resolution for social media. Yeah, and we can render it to our finals. So I called it for render final. I don't know how I call it, but right now I call it live stream. Yeah, and click render. It's going to render. Oh, but it render it 20 seconds. It's a lot. So anyway, I could just crop the workflow area. Right, guys, so I will read the comments if I have something important. You can also, if you didn't know that, to open this menu and click on the link, and it's going to bring you to the folder where you rendered this animation. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. I don't know how time it lasts. 1 hour and 20 minutes. All right, so I think your brains are not melt too much. Yeah, so this is the animation. Let me know if you have some questions before I end the stream. Okay, guys, if you don't have questions, I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Yeah, and you can create an animation with different colors or add more objects to it. Thank you, Milton, for the compliment. I hope you created something awesome with this one. Yeah, and we'll meet in the next one, guys. I don't know. Mahesh say that his brain is melted. What you can do is drink a glass of water and turn off your computer, and if it's nighttime in your area, in your city, so don't open your phone as well, so you can get to the sleeping mood, and you go to sleep, and maybe listen to the audiobook that I posted today on my stories. It's a very good, very good book that I highly recommend for you guys to listen. It's called Habits, something with habits, Atomic Habits. You know, it's for personal improvement and stuff like this. So if you want it, just write on YouTube Atomic Habits, and hear it before going to sleep, and I hope I'm sure it will ease your brain a little bit. Yeah, that's it, guys. So I'm going to end the stream. Yeah, and I see you later. Thank you very much for being with me. We'll meet in the next one.